Hey everyone, welcome back to NDC. A lot of apps use lists, and every list can be empty. And every app that ends up with an empty list either has a blank view or it kind of has the same view, an icon in the middle, muted title, gray description. You write it once and then copy it to the next project and the next. However, content unavailable view is actually the system's answer. Standard empty states that match mail, messages, and contacts with a built-in variant for empty search results. We're going to be going through the basic shapes, actions, and custom labels, and even one of my favorite, the search shortcut. So in this case, we have a list. We'll go ahead and add items. We can see when we've populated the list with items, that content unavailable view goes away. Now, if we were to search, let's look for coffee, we can see that we now use the content unavailable view with the search text. So if you're interested to learn more about content unavailable view, let's go ahead and dive on in. So let's explore the base content unavailable view first. I'm going to go ahead and remove our placeholder vstack, and we'll replace it with the content unavailable view. Within the brackets here, you can see that we have label, description, and we can also include actions as well. The basic shape, we're going to be focusing on three parts: a title, an SF symbol, and a description. That's the entire primary initializer. So for our title, we can include a string. I'll do no messages for mine. We'll then add a comma, and we can add our SF symbol. If you're ever curious on what SF symbols you can use, you can do Command-Shift-L, which opens up the library. And on the right side here, you'll see a little bit of a star. And these are all the different system names. You can also drag and drop these in. I'm just going to type mine manually. So we'll do system image of tray. Then we'll do another comma, and we're going to add a description. This can be some text, so we're going to use our capital T text view, and I'll say something like new messages will appear here. And there's our content unavailable view. We have our icon centered. We can zoom in a little bit here. Underneath that, we have the title with no messages, and then we have the description that's kind of in that secondary color. So in this case, it's more grayed out. The layout, the type ramp, the spacing, this matches the empty state in apps like Mail, Messages, or Contacts when they have nothing to show. This is iOS 17 onwards. Any earlier deployment targets, you're back to rolling your own. I don't think many people are still on iOS 17, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. When we were first setting up this content unavailable view, I mentioned actions. And this is because real empty states aren't passive. If the list is empty because the network failed, give the user a retry button. If it's empty because they haven't added anything, give them a create button. So the long form visualizer actually takes three view builders. We'll have our label, description, and actions. So I'm once again going to create a content unavailable view. And this time we're going to add our brace. This way we have more control with those three view builders. I'm going to start off with my label. We'll have something like no connection maybe. And we'll include a system image once again. I'm going to do the wi-fi.slash, which gives us that kind of slashed out Wi-Fi, pretty common. We're then going to go to the end of our content unavailable brace, and we're now going to add the description. From here, we're going to add our code. I'm going to do a text view, and we'll do something like check your network, and try again. Once we're happy with our description, you can also sit here and customize it more, but out the gate, you get that kind of secondary color. We're going to go to the end of the brace of description, and we're going to add our actions. And this is where we can include anything that's going to have, well, an action or input. So in my case, I'm going to do a button. I'm going to have it say retry. Now in an actual app, you'll have your actual like retry logic here. Maybe it calls upon a function. For me, I'm being pretty lazy. And let's also add a little bit of a button style. Wouldn't be a NDC video without the bordered prominent. So now we can see we have our label with the SF symbol, the text that says no connection. We then have our description and the more grayed out, and we have this button that the user can press. In your actual app, this would call upon the logic to actually refresh and do that network call again. It also doesn't have to just be one text view or one button. You can include multiple of these. So if we were to add one more text, just for an example, we can see here it actually adds a little bit of extra space. You can also style these because they are a view. And we can have multiple buttons as well. So if one was maybe retry and one was maybe dismiss, it's totally up to you. Let's talk a little bit next about label flexibility. This label slot here isn't locked to the label view. You can actually drop in any view, whether that's an oversized icon, a VStack with animated text, maybe even an illustration. Let's create another content unavailable view, and this time within the label, so after the first brace, we're going to add a VStack. We can add a brace here, and we can design it however we want. For me, I'm going to do a system name image with maybe some sparkles. We can adjust things like the font, so let's do system size here so we can customize it. And we'll have a foreground style as well. I'm going to have mine be, let's do cyan, maybe yellow because it is some sparkles. We can also add some additional text like welcome to the club, the Sparkle Club, the NDC Coding Club, who knows? But we can see here that the label, we're able to just kind of make it our own view. Is it similar to the ones we were making before? Absolutely, but you have full control and customization. So I've just added some additional information, but you can see we have the same container, same rhythm. We have more control with a larger icon, maybe brand font, tinted yellow colors. Every app gets the system spacing. This keeps its own personality. Okay, let's talk about the .search variant. And I'm actually going to create a new SwiftUI view just so we have a little bit more cleaner room here. So let's do a new file from template, SwiftUI view. Let's call this one search variant. So this is one that a lot of devs actually miss entirely. A static property that returns a pre-built empty search view. So if we were to look at our content unavailable view one more time, and this time do the .search, let's see what it shows in our preview. Look at that, out the gate. We have our magnifying glass, we have something that says no results, and a standard description. Exactly what mail shows you when your search returns nothing. 0 arguments and it's one line. There's also a variant that takes the query and interpolates it into the description. So let's say we were searching, I'm drinking some coffee right now, so we'll add some text that says coffee. We can now see no results for, and then our search parameter. So this can be localized, formatted, and styled. You can drop this into any searchable view when the result is set to empty, and you're done. So let's go ahead and put this all together with a real list. We're going to make a searchable list with 3 states: empty data, empty search results, and populated. Each state is going to be a different view. The transitions are automatic. So I'm going to go ahead and delete our content unavailable view, and let's set up our state private vars first. So we'll do a couple of these. We're going to just have some base items. And this is going to be an array of string. And by default, it'll be empty. We'll then add another state private var. And this one will be for our query, so whatever we're searching, it'll be an empty string by default. We're then going to add a computed property. We'll have a variable called filtered, and that's going to be an array of string. It's a pretty common, setup for any lists here. And for this, we'll have our query.isEmpty. Then we'll use our ternary operator, so we'll do our question mark, and we'll have our items, else the items dot filter. And for this filter, we're going to go ahead and add another brace. We'll use our $0 and we're going to do the case insensitive contains. And we're going to be looking at that query. So this is just kind of a very basic search through your list. This way we can filter for any items. Within our variable body sum view, let's quickly set up a navigation stack, then add our brace, and we'll include a group. Within this group, we'll say if items.isEmpty, then we're going to go ahead and render the content unavailable view. This is why I really like the content unavailable view with the group, because we can use things like if statements. If our item list is empty, we can prompt the user to say, hey, there's no items, go ahead and add your first one. And we'll do exactly that here. So we'll add our brace to do our custom unavailable view. We'll start off with a label. I'll say no items. Include a system image. Let's do that tray we had done before. We'll then do our description. We'll say something like tap the plus button to add your first item. Then for those actions, we'll include a button. We'll have it add item. And we'll actually go ahead, because we want this to be an actual example, we'll call upon a function we'll create in a moment called add item with empty brackets. And then, of course, I have to have my button style of bordered prominent. Real quick, so we can actually see our updates, let's go before the very last brace, and we'll do a private func of add item. Empty brackets, include our brace. For our function logic, because we're here, we'll do the items.append. And from here, we'll include a string of item. We'll interpolate the items.count plus 1. Oh, and make sure for your description, I was going too fast, you have it be a text view, not just a raw string. There we go. We can see we have our no items, and if we tap the plus button, we can add our first item. If we were to do that, our items now is 1 instead of 0, and our content unavailable view actually disappears. As I mentioned earlier, I love the groups for the content unavailable view because now that we have a list item, let's go ahead and handle the other cases. So we'll go down to the bottom of our if items is empty, so 2 braces below the button style, and let's add an else if. So in this case, our filtered is empty, so dot is empty, add a brace again, another content unavailable view, and this time we'll use that dot search I had told you before, and for the argument brackets, we're going to be looking for the text of query. This way, when we're searching for something, we can show the user exactly what they're searching for and no results. Since we've done our else if, let's go ahead and now close this off with one more else. And this is going to be the list. And we'll be looking at the filtered. We'll have an ID and we'll do \self. Then we'll have our brace and we'll say text. And we'll look at the $0 here. Okay, let's go down 2 braces. So the end of our group, we'll add the dot searchable. And within the brackets, we're going to have the text, and we're going to look at the binding of query. We'll also add the navigation title. So in this case, it'll just be items. And we can see that even though we have the content unavailable view, things like the navigation title still remain, toolbars, etc. Actually, let's go ahead and actually create a toolbar. Just to show, we'll add a brace. And within here, we'll have maybe a button. We'll add our brace, and this will call upon our add item. We'll include a label, and for this label view, I'll just have an image with a system name of plus. Okay, let's take a look at what we've created here, then we'll talk through the code a little bit more. So when we're in an empty state, so this is when the user has no items, we can see we have our content unavailable view showing us no items. If we were to press on the plus button on the toolbar or add item up top here, we can see that it changes now to the list view. Because our else is saying, okay, the items aren't empty, so we're not going to show this content unavailable view. We're also not filtering for anything that's empty, so that's fine. Therefore, we'll just show the else view. Now, if I were to go ahead and search for coffee, so we'll press on the search down here. Always takes a moment for my keyboard to work. We can see that we have no results for whatever the user is searching for. If I was searching for item 1, of course it would still appear. But if I were to do something like pizza, we now have that dynamic content unavailable view that's looking for the user's query and also displaying it to them. So it's very user friendly. So content unavailable view is perfect for an empty state. The short initializer where we had the title, icon, and description, or you can get really into it with, like we've done here, where we have the long form, where we had our custom label. And if you remember in our content view, we had done it with a VStack and then a description followed by any actions. We also explored using the dot search and passing through the query that the user is looking for. This way they get a very dynamic search result. So this is built in and free for you to use. This is available on iOS 17, macOS 14+, watchOS 10+, and visionOS 1+, and it's identical rendering on every platform. Let's go ahead and quickly take a look at it on the Mac. On the right here, we have the preview on the Mac. So if we were to add an item and search, we can see that it still works and renders the exact same on macOS as well. So next time your view is empty, don't write a custom view. Use a system one. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you found it useful. Otherwise, dream big, code bigger, and we'll see you in the next one.